Well, very exciting, incredibly exciting game. I thought our crowd was tremendous. We've seized the opportunity. It's obviously rare to have an SEC team come and visit, and I thought it was a tremendous game. I really thought, I think we went up 7, maybe with about 2.5 to play. I really thought we had a very good chance to win the game because of our guard play, and we had started to defend better than we had in the beginning of the second half. Credit to them to keep making plays, but for us to make the plays that we did after a slow overtime start was great, and the last play was amazing. Jacob to have the presence of mind, not just to launch a half-court shot, but to find a streaking Andre and to make that foul shot. I'm sure he used a lot of rim, but his teasing is like one of Nick's rims. Nick's rims usually know he's shooting the ball and they make it go in, but yeah, I'm sure that'll be good for him and great for us, and really, really pleased with the victory. Happy for our guys.
Pretty confident they would call a foul on Pippen on that play?
Well, that's a tough question. I thought so. I thought, it's going so fast, and it's contact at the rim. I think those usually do get called. You know what I mean? And even though the idea of letting the game play out, I think just a collision at the rim is usually called.
Well, interestingly, Jerry said he didn't think there was a foul, but Gustafson probably would have scored 2 points if Pippen didn't hit him. So.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I was really kind of trying to watch the clock and the layup. So I don't know, but I thought there was contact.
So some people look at your team and say your guards are like 5'0".
Yeah.
How can they do anything? And then they go blur by and do what they did tonight, and just so disruptive and so quick.
Yeah. Well, that's they really are. I mean, they're Jacob's 7 steals, and it feels like magic. Some of them, you don't anticipate it, you don't see it, then suddenly he has the ball and in transition. Blake is, they're great players. Before their size, they're great players, and they can do things at both ends of the floor, and they can make big plays and big shots, and they stay. I think guards, especially smaller guards, are like this. They're so engaged in the game. They know so much because they've been involved in every game they've ever played. Not like a guy you're making who is a big guy to a perimeter player. They've been engaged, and Jacob has an incredible mind for the game. Blake has a great mind for the game and extremely competitive. So, those guys are pretty special.
Not to be flippant, but is your 3-point defense a work in progress?
Yeah.
Or is that just a team that was unconscious?
Well, no. I mean, we have to look at ourselves first, and we need to get better. We certainly need to get better. I thought our first half was our best half of defense so far this season in our 2 games, and then we just let them feel comfortable, and that's probably our biggest issue is the comfort level of the other team. Obviously, Jacob is so disruptive, but when they're in the flow or the pattern of their offense, we need to assert ourselves more to apply some pressure because the teams feel too comfortable. So it is something we're working really hard on, and hasn't yet shown how much work we've put into it, but I think it will, and I think it can complement what could be a really good offensive team.
Coach, Nate was one of your leaders last year in free throw attempts, but struggled to hit them at an effective rate tonight. 8 of 9, being a big physical interior player. How much more dangerous is he when you hit those?
Well, extremely. I mean, he gets fouled at a high rate. I mean, Nate was great. I mean, he had 6 offensive rebounds. I think he probably threw out 2 or 3 that for 3-point shots. I know Nick's late, so he was terrific. I thought he had a little lull in the beginning of the second half. He had a tough defensive assignment, but otherwise I thought he was terrific. When he's aggressive, he has so many tools that he can really be an extremely helpful guy.
Hey Chris, how's Grant? Is he all right? Or
Yeah.
Slow?
Yeah, I think I think he probably played a little bit more than we anticipated, John, or that I would have hoped for, and I thought he played well. They really were focused on him and trying to keep the ball out of him, either high post, low post, mid post, and so. But I thought he played well and tough, and I think that it got a little bit sore toward the end of the game.
Hey, Blake said he hyperextended his knee. In your experience, is that something that will fade fairly quickly?
I have no idea. I'd like to see. He went back in the game. I would assume that's a good sign, but I have no idea. We'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Was there any trepidation with letting him go back in the game? Because obviously,
Yeah.
adrenaline is going.
Sure.
Like, dude, I've got to finish this game.
I told him. He said he wanted to go in. I said, I don't want to hear from your mom. You know what I mean? He said, don't worry about it. And he went back in. So, yeah, always. But I could see him kind of when he was walking through that he looked like he was moving normally.
I would worry about his dad if I was.
Yeah, right.
You switched him to Nesmith in the second
Yeah.
half. Was that to use his quickness to sort of nullify Nesmith?
Yeah, Nesmith is either a big guard or a small forward, and he's at his best obviously when he's catching and shooting. And we thought maybe just having Blake be as disruptive as possible. He tried to post him up a few times. Then we tried to double him in the post. But really, yeah, just to try to make him as uncomfortable as possible because he'd gotten so comfortable in those first 3 threes of the second half.
Was that an example of how valuable Blake can be because he can do things like that?
For sure. And, in the first game, we wanted to put him on the other team's best player, and he had the foul trouble, and we were never able to get in that rhythm. But he can be disruptive because he's quick, and he's just very dogged. He's got what we need to continue to develop.
Every team is different, but in your experience, what does an overtime win do for a team, let alone 2 of them in a row?
Well, it's great. It makes you feel good because there are times we started out the overtime and had 2 turnovers. Everything didn't go perfectly, but we were able to regroup, stay calm, stay confident. I mentioned on the radio that it was the best 9 for 28 shooting that I can remember because we made so many timely ones, and Nick had missed a few in a row. And with experience and confidence, you can step up and make the next one. And I think we really did that well. We kept our composure and kept fighting.
The good news is you're averaging 96.5 points. The bad news is you're giving up 95.
Yeah.
Is that maybe the way this might go for a while until you guys kind of get the defense?
Well, I hope it's not those numbers necessarily, but yeah, I think that our defense, we have good offensive players. They have a really good feel for how to play together. We need to continue to hone that, but defensively, we have major strides to make, and I'm confident that we will. And like I said, we had big possessions where we were good today. We had the first half we were good today, but it just needs to continue to get better.
And the numbers don't always matter as much. It's not UVA slowing it down. I mean, VCU was giving up 80 points a game with 22 turnovers, and you guys, there's so many things today that were 12-second possessions.
Right, exactly. It's not always how the stats look, or it's not even when you're comparing them to other teams. So I think that we just need to keep doing it and keep getting better at it, and then develop confidence. We can get confidence on some of the big possessions late, some of the really nice plays that we made, but we just need to build and build upon those.
Coach, your experience has been kind of what you've been harping on leading up to the season.
Yeah.
Did experience help win that game tonight?
It's everything, because Nick, rather than worrying about I missed my last shot or I missed my last 2 or I'm not in a groove, he's just worrying about making the right basketball play, and that comes with experience. It's hard to have that when you're really young and you're adjusting to all these different things in college basketball. So experience has been pivotal for us.
You are, if you were 0-2, you would say, well, it's early, let's calm down,
Yeah.
guys. What do you say now that you're 2-0?
It's early, calm down, guys. Not to you, Paul, but I would just say that it's early, and we have clearly we have a ways to go, but I think there's some ability there from our players that's pretty impressive, and again, just need to really concentrate and get better at our defense.